Hello family and friends and fellow YouTubers, it's Kim here from Kim's Country Corner, and today I am out at the Hancock Homestead. I'm helping John with his recuperation, and while I'm out here I'm just doing some basic household chores, things like cooking and cleaning and laundry, you know, just things that have to be done in daily life. And I'm kind of taking it easy today. Today is Monday, September the 19th, so this is my Vlog-tember 19. I can't believe I've made it this far. Yay! Anyway, I'm not sure exactly what today's going to hold, but like I said, I'm just doing some basic household chores and then just kind of taking it easy because we had a very busy weekend. Karen and Matt wanted a weekend away. So the two sets of grandparents, we decided to each take two grandkids and keep them for the weekend. And we had the two older grandkids because we were wanting to go to the Northeast Missouri Old Thrasher Show in Shelbina, Missouri. And we did, and I got my pin. I am a pin collector, among other collections that I have. But this pin collecting started way back when I was a teenager. Like I told you in a previous video, my family was highly involved in Old Thrasher shows. And I would go and help with those shows. And I had a friend that she would see me at the shows all the time, and she even made me a little doll. This was me because I used to always wear striped overalls with a denim shirt and the hat. I mean, this looks just like I used to look when I would go to the Old Thrasher shows. And she made me a doll to look just like me. It even has green eyes, and it has a little steam engine pin up there. And every time I would go to a show, of course, I would get a pin, and I would put the pin on my hat. And my hat would even recognize me as an engineer. I used to drive one of those great big steam engines for a friend of the family. And I even have a pin here. I don't know if y'all can see it. But there I am as a teenage girl. And there he is. And he owned the steam engine, and I would help him operate it and drive it. And I probably started doing that when I was like 12 or 13. I mean, I started out really young, but at the Thrasher shows, I mean, if you guys saw in the video I've done, young people, it was nothing to see young people driving tractors and steam engines, you know, under supervision, of course. But anyway, so these are all my pins from when I was a child, teenager, going to the Thrasher shows with my family. And then I have started collecting pins from the Northeast Missouri Old Thrasher Show. Now I have yet to find a hat. I need to find me a hat that I can put all my pins on. But anyway, I just wanted to share that with you, that I did get my pin this year, and it will go on a hat one of these days. So we had a really busy weekend because after we took the grandkids to the Northeast Missouri Old Thrasher Show, then they spent the night, and then they spent all day Sunday. And so it's just been a really busy weekend. But today I'm taking it easy, okay? And, well, as easy as I can, considering I'm doing quite a bit of laundry. But laundry's not that bad. You just have to get up once in a while. But while I'm waiting on laundry, I dug out a book collection that I wanted to share with you guys, because I do start reading these kind of in the winter, along with many books. I'm an avid reader. I love reading. But I wanted to share this set with you because I find it very useful, and I think some of you out there, especially if you're a beginner homesteader or a beginner gardener or a beginner mini farmer, you might find them useful too. The book series was written by Abigail R. Herring, and she wrote 3 books, or at least there's 3 books in this series. And I bought this series as a set, and I was looking at the copyright dates because I couldn't remember when they came out. I know I bought them pretty new at the very beginning of her writing of these because I had heard good things about them. But the first two books, which is the Homesteading Handbook and the Back to Basics, these both have the copyright year of 2011, okay? So these were her first two books in the series. And then she later, the following year, wrote the book, The Ultimate Self-Sufficiency Handbook. This one came out in 2012. Now I bought these as a set, so I'm guessing I probably bought them maybe in 2013. So I've had them, you know, almost 10 years. And I have referred to them often. Now I will admit a lot of the information in here I already know, having grown up in a rural town, starting out my life on a farm, and then my family moving to a very rural town that was even smaller than Monroe City, and then me marrying a farmer and then living again on a farm up until I moved back into town, into a very rural town. So a lot of this information I already knew, but some of it I did not. And if you're like me, it doesn't hurt to be reminded of things. And I know that as I read the three books, every once in a while she would repeat information. Now no, I said every once in a while. So all three books are separate individual books that you can buy together as a set. They do repeat information once in a while, but you are getting three separate contents, okay? So just know that from each book you're going to find something useful. So the Homesteading book came out in 2011, and let me just read to you the contents, the parts that are in this book. So part one is the home garden, and there's many topics under that, from planting a garden all the way down to harvesting from the garden. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 topics under that part alone, okay? Part two is on the pantry, and there's 4 different topics under it. Part 3 is the barnyard farm, and in that part she talks about just about every animal that you will find on a farm. Everything from the chickens down to llamas, okay? So that's an interesting part. And then part 4 is simple structures for your land. And there again, any kind of an outbuilding that you might have on your homestead or your mini farm or your full-scale farm, she covers everything from dog houses and bird houses down to tool sheds, smoke houses, and root cellars. So wide variety. Talks about poultry houses. I mean, I've referred to that chapter many times myself about how many square foot each hen should have to be able to be the most productive. You know, you get them too crowded and they're not going to produce. So very interesting information there. Part 5, she talks about energy. Everything from solar, wind, hydro, geothermal, composting, and gray water. Anything that might have to do with energy. Part 6 is crafts. Now that's an interesting chapter. I love crafts, and she has covered most of the homesteading crafts pretty well. I mean, they're, you know, if you want to really get into like knitting, you're probably going to want to go out and buy a knitting book. Or like if you want to get into pottery, you know, deeply, then you're probably going to need to buy an individual book for just pottery. But what I'm saying is she gives you a good basic understanding of each of these homesteading crafts. Handmade candles, you know, just an interesting part to me. Part 7 is on well-being, where she talks about herbal medicines and first aid on the farm. So, you know, just a lot of good information in these books. The Back to Basics Handbook. So let me go through the Back to Basics just to give you an example of how it's different from the Homesteading book. Part 1, land, buying it and building on it. Part 2, energy. Now this one, a little bit of a repeat because she talks again about water power, wind power, and solar power, but not a lot of repeat, just a little bit. Part 3, raising your own vegetables, fruit, and livestock. Okay? Very, very interesting information in this. Let me just go through part 3 so you guys know what you're going to be in for. Okay, here are the titles. The Kitchen Garden, gardening in a limited space. Fruits and nuts, pest control, grains and grasses, beekeeping, fish farming, and raising livestock. Now again, like in the raising livestock, a little bit of the information is repeated, but not much, okay? It's more general than what you're going to get in this one, okay? So, part 4, enjoying your harvest the year round. So, in this one, she's talking about preserving the produce, okay? And she also covers baking bread and maple syrup. So, you know, wide variety of topics there. And then part 5 are skills and crafts for a house and homestead. She talks about dyes and spinning and soap making and candle making and baskets. Once again, a little bit of the information under the candle making is covered in both books. But I believe, if I remember right, this one's a little bit more generalized, and this one goes into a little bit more depth. However, if you're going to be a full-time candle maker, then you'll probably want to buy a book just on candle making. So, because she covers the basics, okay? And then I will admit, I have not read this book as much. This will probably be the one I concentrate more on this year. But this one is the Ultimate Self-Sufficiency Handbook. And it says here in the title, a complete guide to baking, crafts, gardening, preserving your harvest, raising animals, and much more. So you could buy each of these books singly, okay, based on what you're interested in, or you can do what I did and buy them as a complete set. And I'm finding them really interesting, concise, you know, doesn't give a whole lot of rambling, kind of concise, to the point, good information, and you can read it cover to back. I do not read them like that, though. I don't read cover to back. What I do is I just go, well, what am I interested in reading today? I think I want to do some crafting. Let's go see what kind of crafts she has. Or I've heard a lot about composting and how you can make your own good compost, and I have to spend a lot of money buying it. You know, I mean, she's got a complete, I don't know, like 4 pages in here on improving your soil and composting. Just, you know, how to make your own backyard composting heap, step by step. You know, vermicomposting, which is worms, using worms, you know, concise, to the point, nice little sub-chapters within the chapters, just, you know, and so like when I use the book, like I said, I don't read it cover to back. I just look at the topics and go, I think I want to know more about this. And then that's the part that I go to, or even the title that I go to, you know, and for each title, it has a page number. Canning, page 67, you know. So, just a really, really good set of books to have. And if you guys watched my canning video, and if you guys have watched any of my canning videos, then you also know that I recommend the book, The Ball Complete Book to Home Preserving, to also add to your homesteading library, because that book is awesome. It covers everything about food preservation. Okay? Alright, I'm not going to make this a very long video. You guys have sat through quite a few long videos now. So I'm going to go ahead and call this it for this video. Just a basic cover over the Thrasher shows and how important they were to my family, and some of the books that I recommend. And that's going to be it for my Vlog-tember 19. Because like I said, I just kind of want to take it easy today. Had a really fun, full weekend, but today I'm ready to just kind of take it easy. So I'm going to go ahead and enjoy my coffee, read some out of my books, do laundry at a leisurely pace, might do a little bit of housekeeping. I need to vacuum. The grandkids have been here all weekend. I think I need to vacuum. But anyway, just kind of take it easy today. So if you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you want to know more about what's going on in my corner of the world, hit that subscribe button to Kim's Country Corner. And I will talk to you all later. Bye for now.